Good morning. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm all right. Nice to meet you.
Me too. I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
And
I'm
you're-
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Okay.
I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous. I understand, but we're just gonna sit here and have a conversation about what brings you in today.
Okay.
And we don't have to talk about anything too much into detail today because we're just gonna get to know each other a little bit since we'll be working together for the next couple months. So how about you start with telling me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So I'm 35. I've been married for some time. My husband and I are trying to conceive. We've been trying for the last 5 years, and we're having some trouble with all of that. So I get pregnant, and I've had a few ended miscarriages, and you know, it's really just taking a toll on me. It's taking a toll on my marriage. I look, you know, my husband, he's very supportive. I look to him a lot, but sometimes I think it's like too much on him. And then I go to like maybe some of my friends or, you know, different family members, and they don't really know how to respond. So I just need like a fresh set of eyes. I need more support from other people because I feel like I'm being a burden on my husband, and like it's messing with me.
Okay, well I definitely hear you. It sounds like you have a lot of support, but that maybe they're not the best outlets at this time because they don't really understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have any kids of your own right now, or are you trying to get pregnant with your first child?
We're trying to get pregnant with our first one.
Okay, and you said about how many years?
Like 6, 7, something like that.
Okay, and
You
you've been
lose
married
count
for
after
7
5.
years? Oh, okay, you've been married for 7 years. Okay,
Yeah.
and how long have you been trying to get pregnant?
5 years. 5 years. Because I remember because we started on my 30th birthday. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm so old. And now I'm 35. And I'm old. Like, I'm going to have a geriatric pregnancy. And I'm okay with that. But with that comes certain risks. And carrying full term comes with certain risks. And it's like an increase of risk and risk. And then we can't even successfully carry a baby till for full term. So it takes a lot. Like, I have feelings of inadequacy and guilt. I feel like my husband's gonna leave me. It's a lot.
It does sound like a lot, but I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that we're able to kind of start working through all these emotions because it sounds like it's been a lot on you for a while now.
Yeah.
So that being said, what do you and your husband talk about, like when you try to engage him about it? Like, is he open to listening to you? I know you said he was a good support, but do you feel like
He is. We talk about, I mean, I feel like a lot of the talking is me, and my feelings, and I don't really ask him how he's feeling. I know that he is disappointed sometimes, but I don't really explore those feelings with him, and I feel guilty about that because I feel like I should. It's not just me going through this, and I don't know how to do that, and so I'm racked with that guilt on top of I can't give this man the things that he wants.
okay? Now, do you feel like it would be helpful to have him in sessions with you as well eventually, or do you feel like for now we should just?
For now, just us, but maybe eventually that might be helpful.
Okay, I think that would be helpful as well. So we can definitely explore that later down the road. But why don't you tell me a little bit about the process of, have you met with doctors? You know, is that what's taking an emotional toll on everything?
So we meet with the doctors. I met with the doctors a while ago, and it's been a process since. So we've started just kind of with increasing like hormones, like birth control, getting off that. And then there was like this shot that they gave you, and now we're like in the in vitro phase. and in vitro costs a lot of money. It's not always successful, and now with, Roe v. Wade being overturned, and like that is also playing a large part, because if we have successful I don't know what the word is.
Implantation?
Yes. Then like the doctors, especially in our state, like the doctors may have to implant all of those into my uterus because we can't get rid of them. So that's like that's a lot. And then I don't even know if IVF will continue to go forward because there's risk with that. And it's a lot. Like it's a lot to take in.
Now, Anastasia, before I start writing down anything, is it okay with you that I'm just taking a couple notes so that I remember what went on in our session today,
yeah,
so we
that's
can
fine.
document going forward how things progressed?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, so it sounds like you have been talking to your husband about it, your family and friends about it. However, you're still feeling alone because this is kind of something that you want very much, and it sounds like your husband wants it too. And it does sound like there's a lot that goes on with the doctors. So how are you coping with it? Are you giving some time for self-care? Are you, do you have any outlets?
I do like to ride the bike. I have a Peloton at the house.
Okay.
One of the things that, I use that for myself to relax, but then one of the things that I get nervous about is because I'm on the Peloton, there's that risk of, falling. When I was using the Peloton, I stopped for a while when I got pregnant. And then they said it was fine to get back on. I went back on, and then like 2 weeks later I had a miscarriage. So I kind of associate using that self-care with my miscarriage, and I need to find something new to do. I do like going for walks. But like that's really kind of it. I don't do a lot of self-care.
Have you consulted with the doctor about the Peloton?
Yeah, I did. They said that that's not what caused it. And I know logically in my head that that's not what happened, but I still can't help but associate those things together.
Now, how long ago was your latest miscarriage, if you don't mind me asking?
8 months ago.
8 months ago, okay. And so over the past 8 months, what kind of emotions do you feel like you've been having? Have you been having like a lot of highs and lows? Is it just lows?
There are better days than others, but for the most part, it's been pretty low. Not so I'm not like manic. I'm not running around and all that, but there are definitely better days than others. And even on in the low days, there are even better low days than others. There's been when I first had our miscarriage, I definitely didn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. That was really difficult. But since then, we've kind of coped, and it was a lot of acceptance, and this is just what it is. It kind of pushed to keep going, but it's a lot of guilt in there, and so the guilt is what gets me, and then that's what makes me feel really down and low.
Now, what kind of support did your husband give you after
He was
you
great.
found out about the miscarriage?
He was great. He was disappointed, but he held me while we both cried. I blamed myself a lot. I kept apologizing. He told me there was nothing to apologize for. This is kind of what happens. And that when, we're ready and it's, willed for us to have a baby, then we'll have a baby. But just the cliche things you would expect him to kind of do.
Now, Anastasia, can I get you anything right now at this time? I know we've just talked about a lot. Can I get you water? No? Okay. You're all right? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Has it been 8 minutes?